Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have the best weekend, and I truly mean that. Now, I think you've seen in the last little while that we've changed our routine. You know, I used to do the Wolfe Report on Facebook, and, you know, it's really come down to this. If you don't get trained, you're going to continually be mistreated. How many people go for treatments? How do those treatments work? Well, you're only good till the next treatment. I'm going to tell you something right now. Unless you're willing, okay, to get trained on how the human body works and understand something, and I get it, okay? It's so scary, all right? Because understand this. Health professionals like myself have made it seem like the average person, the majority of the population, could never be intelligent enough to understand their body. But here's the thing. Most practitioners aren't intelligent enough to understand the body because most practitioners are taught in a way that is totally corrupt, watered down, twisted. First of all, to even think that you are going to live your life, okay, only being treated and never being trained. Oh my God. So the most precious thing on a physical plane is your body. It is. It's your body. If you don't know how to look after your body, love your body, take care of your body, either will your family, either will your children. You know what really gets me is when people say, you know, I don't believe in this self-care, self-love thing. Well, whatever. I mean, seriously, okay? I always say this, that, you know, you're only as smart as your beliefs. And the majority of the population has been programmed to be pretty stupid. Stupid beliefs. And I'm not in judgment. This is an observation. Like, that's not obvious. We absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt. Because understand, if it was true, this whole C word that's going on, that's totally disrupted everybody's lives, if it was true, are you going to tell me that a guy like me is just going to say, no, I'm not wearing a mask, I'm not doing the 6-foot rule, I'm not doing all this stuff, if it wasn't true? This whole come together so we can be apart. I know today's one-a-day is about pelvic pain and inflammation, and we're going to get to that. But that's why you have pelvic pain and inflammation, and you don't even get it. But pelvic pain and inflammation, low abdominal pain and pelvic pain and pelvic pain and inflammation is the main cause of all illness in the human body. Oh, first it's your mind. It's epigenetic, not genetic. But the reality is here, the whole system is corrupt. Why do you keep on trying to have a relationship with something that is toxic and doesn't have a beating heart? Now, I'm not trying to tell you to have a relationship with me. I'm not trying to tell you to come and learn from me. But I will tell you, you better find someone that's going to show you that looking after the human body is a piece of cake, a walk in the park. God created this body, and it is totally magical. It is totally mystical, but it is simple to look after. There are very simple rules. But we've become the fools of stupid rules. And understand something, whether we're talking about natural health or we're talking about medical health, we've all gotten into this emergency care thing. Even if people say, I'm totally into natural health, I don't go to medical health at all. But are they? Because unless you have a perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed on an emotional and physical level, you're going to get in trouble. That's just like people say, you know what? Oh man, I'm starting to feel really bloated. I feel really sluggish. I feel really toxic. I feel really sick. Oh, it's time to do a deep cleanse. Well, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, because guess what? Why don't you just learn how to do the perfect day? loving and caring for yourself, and then repeat it every day and become not a light, but a torch for the world. I'm going to continually keep on supporting, keep training. And the reality is this. But if you don't want to take massive personal action, they've won. They've won. And, I'm not going to get into this, but I will be doing an interview with Paul Hellyer, Honorable Paul Hellyer. And I'll be doing it in the new year. And he used to be the defense minister back in the 70s in Canada. And the stuff you're going to hear, you're not going to want to believe. The reality is this. You can only grow and evolve on a conscious level. But what if you are so unconsciously, subconsciously programmed that you live in this little tight little box? And this is why, honestly, I want to be around enlightened human beings. I don't want to be around anyone else. Or I want to be around human beings who want to become enlightened. And what does that mean? To understand why you were created by God, and that you need to create the life that you've always wanted. And then, you know what? They always promise us that you can have this and that and this and that. The whole game is rigged. The game is rigged. Right from financial to health to relationships. Oh my God, you don't even know how to love yourself, less anybody else. And until you truly honor, love, and respect yourself 100%, and you know how to get out of the guilt syndrome and the failure syndrome, and you have to understand that life is something that we experience and it's an adventure, you'll always have pain and inflammation in your body. So I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's really important that unless you understand that the emotional rules everything, all right, it rules your life. How's that roller coaster? How's that yo-yo life of yours? All right? I'll tell you something right now. It doesn't matter what and how big the crisis is. I'm not going to lose it. I'm not going to lose it. I am eternal. And I will stay centered. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I had a family here, a big family. How about 11 people? And the biggest takeaway for them was this. Oh my God. And it was the last day, and I was working on it for 9 days with them, 10 days. Do you know what their takeaway was? Oh my God, this is what we do in this family. Every time someone's hurt, every time someone suffers, we suffer for them and we make each other sick. Boom. Light goes on. You have no idea how you were programmed to be sick. Look, so first I take a call this morning, and there's a young girl. She's 19 years old. Oh, she's got ADHD, so she's on all these meds now. She shouldn't have ADHD. There's no such thing. There's called too much sugar, too much flour, and feeling that you're unworthy, and then having something called the COVID thing that, guess what? There's no COVID. Oh, is there colds and flus? Is there viruses? Is there bacteria? Is there people that are sick? Yeah, because people are sick in their mind. Yeah, I don't mean like, hey, you're sick. I mean that you've got sick beliefs about yourself. They're belittling beliefs that you are less than what you are, but you are not that. I need you to rise up to your greatness, and you've got to do it now. This girl, she's 19 years old, and I want to apologize to every teenager out there. I want to apologize to every teenager for all the adults in the world who couldn't take a stand, who haven't taken a stand, who have put their children in lockdown, can't go to school, can't go to a dance, can't go to a party, can't do sleepovers. Okay, I want to apologize to all the toddlers that are going to be going to school pretty soon, and then they're going to go into a robotic world because of the teachers and all the practitioners and the politicians that couldn't take a stand. I want to apologize to all the children. And I want them to know that they can count on me to hold the line. You don't know how pissed off I am. You go ahead. You go ahead. You're an adult. You go and poison yourself. Do whatever you need to do. And it really is not going to affect me. But it's all the children, the beautiful little spirits that come down here, okay, that we have not protected this world for. And if you actually think that this is a government issue, it isn't, because there's a government within a government, and these people are serpents. They're not even human. I don't know what they are, so I'm not pretending. But the reality is don't you dare tell me that a human being is going to go out there and slaughter and destroy the spirit of other humans all around the world and then turn us into robots and widgets. You know what? I have people saying, well, we deserve what we're going to get if we're that stupid. Well, no, we don't. But the reality is you need to rise up. You need to stop watching TV completely. You need to start honoring and respecting yourself, and you need to start eating right, thinking right, drinking right, and getting yourself off the hook for guilty things. They want to make you guilty. You know what? I don't care. Religion can do it. Not all religion, but there's religions that make people feel guilty. The government makes you feel guilty. Well, they can bugger off. I don't know why you're so scared of your own government. I don't know why you're scared of the medical system. And I tell you something, if you're scared of me, then there's a problem, because that means you're scared of yourself, because you know what? You don't know yourself. And if you did know yourself, you wouldn't be scared of anyone, because you would know you're eternal and you'd know that you were created by something that was beyond love. So forget love. So now let's change the subject now, and I want to talk about something. So this morning, I talked to a patient. She's got a 3-inch diameter cyst sitting in her pelvis. I talked to an 18-year-old girl yesterday, and she has endometriosis already. How's that? And please, if you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. I talk to at least a half a dozen to a dozen men every week now that have prostate cancer, or they have an inflamed prostate, or they have bladder infections all the time. Women always have them now. So I will say this over and over again. Why do you think I'm doing the 12 days of poo? It's a series that we have going on. And I think what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fourth day. It's the fourth day of a 12-day series. It's only a half hour long. Go to YouTube and watch the 12 days of poo. Start off at number 1 and walk your way through. And then what I want you to do, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I want you to come on my show on Monday for my live Q&A, and just go ahead. You can even give me a call. My extension is 5, and tell me that you want to challenge me, because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, I want you to. Okay, anybody out there that you think I don't know what I'm talking about, because I want the world to know that when I get challenged, I'm going to hold the line and prove that 1 and 1 are 2, not 11. And that's the deal. So you need to understand something. Whether you're talking about a hip replacement or you're talking about spinal problems, it all comes from your large intestine, and you're pooping into your pelvis. So whether you're talking about scar tissue in your fallopian tubes and now you're infertile, oh my God, we can't figure this out. We can't figure this out. We've searched the world over. There's got to be something wrong. She must have been born like this, or he, okay, look at men. If your swimmers are too weak to make it to the other end of the lake, all right, it's because you're toxic. And women, if you've got scar tissue in your fallopian, it's because you're in so much inflammation in that area of your pelvis. If you've got a cyst in your pelvis, it's because it's a big old sack of pus. And guess what? Scar tissue in the fallopian tubes is from inflammation in the fallopian tubes. And the scar tissue is there to try to protect and wall off the inflammation so it doesn't become cancerous. So what do you want? Cancer or scar tissue? It's your choice. And then what do you want? You want a cyst, which is a pustule, or do you want the infection to be so bad that it cuts off the oxygen to your cells, and now you've got cancer in your pelvis? Which one do you want? A sack of pus? Or do you want cancer in your pelvis? So this girl's 18 years old and she's got endometriosis. So now they want to put her on painkillers. So I said to the mother, how's her bowels moving? Well, geez, nobody talked to me about that. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. The girl's bowels move once a day, but definitely not enough. You can't have endometriosis, which is scar tissue like webbing in your pelvis all over the place, unless you're totally infected and inflamed. You need to get this. My God. You know what? Here's what you got to do with humans. You got to repeat something 10,000 times. So if you come on here and you go, oh my God, I've heard him say that before. Bleh. Well, understand something. The only way that you become Olympian at anything, the only way that you become an expert at anything is because you practice over and over and over again. Whether it's a guitar, whether it's ballet, whether It's anything at all. I mean, God, that's why usually, almost every one of my kids, when they first started to drive, within the first year, they hit something with the car. So the thing is, it's practice makes perfect. And if you're not willing to understand that your brain is 90%, okay, your subconscious, then you're never going to get this game at all. And that's why they're ruling, schooling, and fooling you. That's why they've got you eating their crap. That's why they got you doing their crap therapies. And that's why you're feeling like crap all the time, because everybody else is feeling like crap. It's just okay. This is as good as it gets, I guess, eh? It's as good as it gets. Well, guess what? It's not good enough for me. The way I feel and the energy I have today is not good enough for me, because I'm infinite and I'll have more tomorrow. When you have faith in your body, and then you have faith in that which created you, then you can move forward. Because understand something. This is a damn spiritual war going on right now. They have just stole the spirit out of your children, your teenagers. Your teenagers go, what the hell? I'm just getting ready. When's the party going to start? Let me tell you something. I love going to parties. I love going to bonfires. I love doing things. Now they can't do anything just because, you know what? We've already done the party thing, the meeting people. We're kind of in a different area now. I know I just switched the subject, but it's really pissing me off. I am so pissed off. I don't care. You adults, it's easy for you to get locked down because you're already locked down with your subconscious. At least the children and the teenagers still have a chance to become spirited, to have a chance to live their life. Yeah, most adults have already given up before COVID anyways. And don't tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm not. And it's not their fault. And I understand that. But it is our responsibility to get rid of dysfunctional beliefs and bring in functional beliefs that rise us, because we can only grow consciously. So let's go back to this. So here we go. I'm going to repeat it over and over again. And it's like, you know what? Either Dr. Wolfe hardly knows anything at all, or he's on to something. And understand something. Our Creator made it simple, okay? All of the so-called approved, okay, the approved healthcare things have made it like this maze that nobody can get through. Nobody can get through it. You just throw your hands up in the air. That's why they use names for their drugs that are made up. They sound like from another planet. And then every time there's a new disease, okay, it's usually a Greek word, right? You know, I have ADHD, which there's no such thing as just a symptom. Every disease is a symptom. Now, I understand. If you call a disease a name, a symptom, if you call a symptom a name, which they consider a disease, but it's not. It's a symptom of improper care, improper love for oneself. Okay? That, at least it tells you where in the body it is, but they're all just symptoms. And then they give them names what is that name again? What is that? And somebody will say to me, I have a disease, and they'll go, do you know what that is, Dr. Wolfe? And I'll go, no. And then people will think, well, I guess he's not very smart. Well, no, because they just made the damn name up. And it's not my job to keep up to them. My job is to actually bring everything down to logic and let everybody know that you can heal yourself, and that you do not need to go to see anybody unless you're in an emergency if you know how to create the perfect day. So this is your pelvis. Gravity, everything comes down. Your large intestine is the root of your immune system. And whether you want to believe it or not, you can't have stinky farts or bad breath, or you can't have smelly armpits or a smelly vagina, okay? You cannot smell, okay, toxic and not be toxic. So you got to get that. People will say, I have stinky feet. Yeah, but that's because you are pooping into your system, and that is a fungal problem. But anyway, so all of this goes into the soup bowl called your pelvis. So like I said, whether you're talking, give me one surgery that goes on in the pelvis, in the hips, in the spine, in this whole area here. And guess what? And people, you know what they say to me? You don't know what you're talking about. Well, good. You can say that. I'm not offended. But you have to have a problem in your pelvis before you have a problem in your breasts. That's right. You have to have a problem in your pelvis before you have a problem in your breasts. And if you're not going to deal with the body as a whole, because every organ, every tissue in the body, it relates to a certain emotion. And when you can't process a certain emotion, so many times it gets stored. gets stored in your tissues. That's why we say issues in your tissues. And then wherever the issue is, you're going to pull calcium. You're going to pull calcium from those bones, okay, to actually try to keep the fire down so that you don't get cancer. Did you hear what I said? So whether you're talking about gout, which is what? Uric acid crystals and calcium. That's why it hurts so much. Well, it would rather do that than give you cancer, right? Because your body's always trying to pull calcium to buffer down, okay, the fire. And that's why cancer patients, you'll always see that they have high calcium levels in their blood when they're in trouble. And guess what? And then a doctor will go, oh, get off of calcium, get off of... Yeah, but guess what? You can't just take chunks of calcium. If you looked at doing the ionic calcium therapy that we have, it's the only calcium that works. And what it'll do is it'll actually calm that all down. It'll stop the body from pulling so much calcium out. And this is why we get calcified in our joints. We get calcified in our pelvis. So all I can say is take the time, all right? I try to make it as entertaining as possible. But watch the 12 Days of Poo. And then when you get that into you, then go to my library because it's only free until the new year. Go watch the A to Z Masterclass and watch the first 2 hours and be amazed. And then watch all the different parts of the body, maybe where there's people who have trouble in your family, and then really get to understand it. Let me tell you something. I'm going to keep you so dumb and so stupid that I can tell you to do dumb and stupid things that will injure you, and you'll actually think they're therapy. Are you like kidding me? This is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call that I need to tell you. We are created by God Almighty, and you haven't even started to tap into your potential, because I know that I haven't. And every day I work on tapping into my potential more and more. And if you want to listen to these morons out there that think, the politicians think that they're now the medical system, they're not. They're the terrorist system. Okay, and if you want to listen to a surgeon, well, you can listen to him when you need surgery. But if you don't need surgery, why are you going to a surgeon? Okay, and then guess what? If you don't want to get on drugs, then guess what? Embrace Mother Nature, because that's the nature of all healing. The reality is you don't trust you. And the reality is you don't trust you because you can't trust you, because you've got beliefs in you that aren't you. They were put in there to undermine you, undermine your whole life. My God, you poison yourself, you poison your family. I'll tell you something, I hold the line here, and this is why I do my courses. And this isn't a pitch for my courses. Go find another one then. The reality is I teach people how to go in and look at themselves. And then when they find something they don't like about themselves, guess what? It wasn't you anyways, okay? They snuck it into you. That was an unconscious download to help to poison you and to make you think that's you. I hope I left you something to think about, because I don't know if I'm going to do any one-a-days this weekend, because I got to tell you, everybody's telling me, well, things have slowed up for them. Well, they haven't slowed up for me, okay? They haven't slowed up for me or my business, okay? Because my business is your business, because it's your business, okay? All right? To mind your own business on your happiness. Mind your own business on your health, and understand something. There's a genius inside you, and there's a practitioner inside you, and you need to rise up to this. I'll have a Q&A on Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I don't know if I'll be doing a doc demo on Monday. It depends on how we feel and how much we've got going on, okay? But I'll tell you something, it's going on. We're getting calls from groups all over the world that want us to come and train. We're getting countless calls on personal treatment and trainings to go into people's homes and teach them, to go certify clinics. I've never seen anything like this before. People, we're rising up. We're rising up. You must wake up. You must wake up. And when you'll know you're awake, because you will fall in love with you. You have a beautiful day. God bless. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.